Hello, welcome. This is Travels Part 2. My name is Astrid Gerhard. In this Part 2 video of my travels overseas in 2016, I will explain to you how I get informations, how are my booking conditions confirmed, and how I pay my rent when I have also flexible accounts for my mobile phone, and I will tell you a few other things I learned overseas. Enjoy! I booked a full, all-inclusive, everything's managed by a tour guide tour in April, May, and went to Australia in May. I had 2 weeks, one and a half week, where I stayed with the tour guide and this group of people. It was an international group, young people like I am. So the only thing missing was my telephone. I didn't bring my mobile phone. Don't ask me why. I didn't know that I would stay on my own. So I was not prepared to manage myself without a telephone, because in Australia you can lock yourself in the internet if you purchase like Amazon, it's called, a company where you can pay for a monthly amount of internet use. This is really necessary if you want to book your own flight. Maybe if you travel to another country, then you can book via telephone, or you can ask for accommodations, your confirmations, everything. If you travel by bus, you need to book a ticket online in advance. So you need at least a phone. I had an iPad with me, and I could manage to book all of it if you say you go in Brisbane to the library and it's an open public internet access, and yes, that's a necessary tool if you have to book everything on your own. So in the beginning I stayed with my tour guide, and they had all the informations and the bookings, and they managed all of it. So it was not necessary to have a mobile phone on yourself or for yourself with you all the time. So I did leave my phone at home. So then I had required a telephone, and as you can see, then I bought on Woolworth this really nice phone. It's Alcatel Pixel number 3. It's really small. It's really not necessary. It has a minimalistic style, and it did really good work. So it locates all the areas where you are. It's not a GPS. It's more like a collection of items and areas. And I managed to have a little photo album selection, photos from different parts of Australia where I went on my own after I managed to leave the tour company, which of course you can. You have always the ability to cancel a trip, and I did this in a company confirmation. I had a covering letter, so they confirmed myself that I have the ability to stay on my own in Australia, because I was capable enough to manage my finances, and also I have my mobile phone, so I could text them and write them emails. So it was the first time in, I guess, in May, that I had to buy this phone to be capable of collecting all the following pictures you're seeing here. So This is just a handful of informations I gathered in pictures, but also in my digital location code. You can see a lot of informations about my whereabouts, where I was, which areas I have seen. It's not such a thing like restaurants reviews, or I didn't go on Facebook. It was just all on this phone, and it's really precious to me until today. Um, so yes, you can have a look. On the 12th of July in 2016, I received a call at 10:40 a.m. Because I had just charged my SIM card, and therefore I was able to reach people by phone, and I could write SMS, so little messages. I could message someone. At the moment, you can see there's a screenshot on from my Alcatel phone I just bought in April, May. Um, I was at Calvin Grove. I was at Brisbane. So it was 17 Celsius grad. It was the German version. It was not the degree seen on this screen. But the important part is I received a short message because I could rent an apartment in Brisbane. And as you can see, there was an appointment 10:13 until 11:13 a.m. So I was on my way when I received this short message. And yes, I got this apartment, and I was able to pay my rent. And another thing I did, I was so happy and glad that I had my own apartment in foreign country, that I did write a postcard from a time when I went from my Brisbane apartment to Byron Bay for vacation. Because that's what people do. They go on vacation to Byron Bay, to New South Wales, and I walked at Cape Byron, and I thought about the text I would tell myself in maybe 10 years. And I wrote a few notes down. And as I came back to my Brisbane apartment, I found it very peculiar that I didn't write anything at all, just a few notes and handwritten um, ideas all over a magazine I bought in Byron Bay. So it was not really something, it was just a few notes and bits and pieces. So I sat down on my terrace at my own rented apartment, and I wrote down on a postcard to myself, to my home address in Germany, where I live with my mother. Because I didn't had my own apartment in Germany at the moment. I moved into back to my mother's place because I finished graduated from college, from high school in 2007, and in 2015 I graduated from college. So I had my university degree, and I had the ability to travel abroad, and I went overseas. So I thought maybe this was a good point of view from a foreign country, sitting in my own rented apartment, and write down a text about a future where I had my own self. It was really silly, and as I told you, it was just a few bits and pieces and notes from my vacation in Byron Bay, and I guess I was inspired by a magazine, but in the end, it was just an image I created in text. And you can see it over here, dear future self. And then I went on and on and on about ideas, and it was just really nice to send this back to Germany while I was still at Brisbane. at my own apartment and had a coffee in the morning. The very best thing about living in Brisbane and having my own apartment was the ability to go to cultural events, even though I didn't want to go to events. So, like sitting in rooms, crowded people. I just preferred the way the Australian event is managed, like always public, open spaces. They have great venues where you can sit and eat, and no one is ever uh, narrowing yourself like you have to do this or that. They are very liberate, I believe. I think I manage myself very carefully, so I wanted to be a guest like anyone else, but still have my own choices to make. So I went to the Queensland Modern Art Museum, and as you can see, they have a lovely garden area. So they cultivated a lot of a lot of gardening spaces, and you see there a lot of animals, or mainly birds. Um, and also in the middle of this beautiful modern art building, you have a lot of installations with water, which gives the space a really airy feeling. And you have also a lot of uh, a lot of doors which are nearly closed, but also very open because they are out made of glass. So it was really beautiful. I had a really great. I spent there my whole day, and I didn't had a coffee or something. I just walked around. I looked at this great. There you can see the entrance area. I had the chance to take a picture. I asked before I did the picture, um, but they said it was all right. But I still managed to just hoovering around the great art, so that I didn't have really a picture just from the art pieces, because I think I paid my entrance fee, and I had really a bad feeling about just taking pictures from the art. So I had to make a picture from this beautiful entrance because it's so light and airy, and it felt really, really beautiful because it's a lot of sunshine during September, October, and I had my apartment since July, and I was really, really enjoying this beautiful day, and I had to take a picture to show you. In the next video, I will show you or tell you about my working life as a volunteer in Australia, because I had a working holiday visa and I tried really hard to get a job. So I wrote a few application forms. And I went to the local library in Brisbane, where I had my apartment, to print them because I didn't have a scanner or a printer at my rentings. So I managed to do this and write, and I was able to create in English my curriculum vitae, and I wrote a covering letter. So it was really um, I was prepared. So I got this volunteering job at a film festival, and I worked there one day and one night, and not quite sure what to do. It was more a catering event, and they showed a lot of movies. And yes, it was really exciting. And on my way home, this little story just before we end this little part two of my travels. On my way home, there was no lightning, and there was no electricity lights along the street, and it was a very long street. I had to walk. I guess it was half an hour maybe, because I had a rent. I did rent via, I used Airbnb for renting a one bedroom at a really lovely lady who rented out her second apartment bedroom. And it was quite nice, but it was very far away, even though it was still in the same city. And I think the restriction code was quite different. So I had to walk home, and it was really, really late. I guess 1 a.m. in the morning. And I didn't drink anything. I was sober. I was totally fine with myself. I was just really tired, and I had to walk. And then the oddest thing happened, because it was really dark, and I used my mobile phone just to lighten up a few steps on my way. And the other thing happened then. There were a lot of lights from taxis. There are a lot of taxi drivers. Then they kept driving, and another. There was a lot going on just driving down the street at 1 in the morning. It was really interesting, and for me, for my luck, it was really great because I had the greatest way home. So this was something that happened. Either than that, I didn't work at all, because it was really expensive to live in Australia, but also it was really, really hard to find a job in a touristic area where you, as a foreign citizen, really start from nothing, where they lead you the way to in a cafe or cafeteria to work. So it was an opportunity, but neither of my applications got picked up. So I stuck with this great volunteer job and this lucky me traveling back by foot to my way home. So I was thankful for this experience, and in my next video I will tell you about backpacking travel gear I tried out, how much kilograms are enough for my shoulders, and how I am able to keep myself up during a long day with 20 or 25 to 30 kilograms balancing of my shoulders. This was an opportunity as well to get to know all the stuff about traveling on your own as a woman and also as a backpacker. So, see you then.